Good morning. We are starting our next unit in math. This unit we are going to be working on areas and perimeters and circumference. So working with those shapes, but in a different way than we did in our last unit. Last unit we were working with side numbers and all of that with those polygons. Now we're working with areas and perimeters. Our first objective, hopefully, is going to be a refresher for you. It's going to be, oh, I know how to find the area of a rectangle. I've done this before. So we like to start out our units with ones that are a little bit easier, and we build on it, and we will get to more challenging ones that we have not done before. So for Po66, calculating the perimeter and area of rectangles and squares, our first step is to make sure we know what it all means. So a perimeter is the distance around a figure. So I like to think of it as my yard. It would be how much going around the yard for a fence. So the perimeter would be the fence around the yard. Now the area is the number of square units needed to cover a figure. I like to think of this as the grass that's in my yard. How much grass covers the inside of the yard. So the perimeter is the fence going around. The area is all the grass inside that fence. A rectangle is a figure with four straight sides. And four right angles. Now it's important that those angles are right angles. It's not any quadrilateral. We know that the quadrilateral has four straight sides. The key to the rectangle is they have to have all four angles are right angles. How many degrees is a right angle, Rhoda?
90.
90 degrees. So it's that right angle, remember you can see it as the box or as 90 degrees. Now a square is a special type of rectangle. It is a figure with four equal straight sides and those four right angles. So it is a type of rectangle, but it's a special rectangle in that the measurement of each side is the same. So we know our rectangle can look something like that. A square has to all be congruent sides. So they have to have the right angles for both shapes. And then the square also has four congruent sides. Okay. So the formula for the perimeter of a rectangle and a square, it's the same. You could say the length plus the length plus the width plus the width. So you are adding up all four sides. So to find the perimeter, you just add all four sides together. The formula for the area of the rectangle and the square is length times width. So you take one length times one width, and you get the area. We've been doing the area in our math packets. We've been doing perimeters in our math packets. So these should come a little bit easier for us. So let's look at what we're going to be doing today. It says calculate the perimeter and area of each figure. Use an array to prove the area you found. Now, arrays might be something that we see in Khan Academy or in the math test that we're taking tomorrow. So we need to know what an array is, so we're aware of it. We've been working with area and perimeter, so we haven't been using it that much. You might have learned it in previous years. I'm just going to go through what it means. So, our first thing we're going to do is we're going to break it up into squares. So if it is 7 yards, how many squares do you think I need going across the bottom? Michael? 7. 7. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that's too many. Make sure we've got 7. So then how many going up? 4, because it's by 4. So I'm going to draw my straight lines across, trying to make them as even as possible. This would be our arrays. It's proving our area. You can count how many squares going around for that perimeter, and you can count how many squares are in the middle for our area. So we could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh, I forgot to count. Here, let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So our perimeter around, counting each one of those spots, is 22. I could also have done 4 plus 7 plus 4 plus 7. 4 plus 7 is 11. 11 plus 11 gets me that same 22. So we don't have to do the array to find the perimeter. We can just count all on the outside, but we need to know what that means. So that array is counting each of these spots going around. And then for the area, we can count every square on the inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Whew. That was a lot of counting. And we will have shapes that are much bigger than that. We're proving that it's filled with 28 squares. To do it the easier way, especially when we have much bigger numbers, we just do our length times our width. 7 times 4 gets us that 28. Let's break up our square into our arrays. How many lines going up do I want? Say it louder.
3.
3, because it is a length of 3. How many lines going across do I want? 3, because it is a width of 3. So again, to find my perimeter, I can count my lines along the outside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's the same as saying 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. And with that square, There's another way we could do it. Does anybody know how we can figure out that square because all the sides are congruent? I could also say 4 times the side. So that would be the side of 3, and there's 4 of them. That gets me the same perimeter because they're all the same. We can't do that with the rectangle because the length and the width are different sizes, but you can do that with a square. To find the area, we count how many squares are inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have an area of 9. We can also say that by 3 times 3, or we could say side squared, 3 squared, because it's 3 times 3. You can only do these two with the square because all 4 sides are congruent. A lot of times it's easier just to remember a square is a rectangle, so it's length times width, 3 times 3. But some of us like to say, oh yeah, 3 squared. Okay. It's your preference, it's the same answer. Any questions on area and perimeter of rectangles and squares? Here is the big thing for us to remember. On the test, it's going to ask about area and it's going to ask about square. You need to make sure that you are labeling it so I know which one is the perimeter and which one is the area. If we are given a label like yard, when we're finding that perimeter, we're just adding them all up. So it's 22 yards. But when we find that area, we're multiplying a yard by a yard, so it would be yard squared. Over here, they don't give us a measurement, so you can just call it a unit or a unit squared, but we don't ever put the square on the number. We wouldn't say 9 squared, because that's 81. We would say 9 units squared. If you're not given a unit and you just give me 12 as an answer, that's fine. If you are given a unit measurement, please try to remember to put that measurement on there. So I know it's 22 yards, not 22 puppies, right? We want to show what our measurement is. So make sure you label it. If you're doing the area because we're multiplying, that's when you square it. When you're adding them all together, it's just the same measurement. Is there any questions on that, on the labeling? So make sure you tell me what's the perimeter and what's the area. Make sure you put that measurement. This one doesn't have a measurement. So you could call it units, or you could just give the number. Here we know it's centimeters. So centimeters, centimeters squared. Okay. Put your measurements. On the bottom, we have some questions to answer. What are the side lengths of a square with a perimeter of 28 and an area of 49? So draw out your picture of the square. Work it backwards. If you know the area is 49, what does that tell us that we were doing? How could I figure that out? Any guesses? Joy? Yeah, because it's a square, we know that they have to be the same measurement because they're congruent, and it has to equal 49. So we have side times side, length times width, has to be the same number. So Joyce said, well, what number do I multiply by itself and I get the square is 49? Well, that would be 7, right? So that helps you with the area. Then figure out, does that still work for the perimeter? And then tell me what that length would be. Does it work if we use that? Over here, you're going to figure it out on your own. What are the side lengths of a rectangle So draw your picture of a rectangle with a perimeter of 26 and an area of 36. So remember, it's a rectangle, not a square. So you have to be able to multiply that length times the width to get 36, and then add all four sides up to get 26. This is just a one-pager today. So when you finish, make sure your Khan Academy's done. Then work on your math packet. Then you can work on some other homework, no games. Work time, if you want to work on your heritage project. If you want to read for your reading minutes. You have something for another class, but it has to be calm. This is the time to come ask me questions if you have questions. If you are watching this at home, I hope you are well, and I hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful day.